We are live Q&A, live cybersecurity Q&A, live on the Instagrams and YouTube. If you've got any questions for me, then just comment them wherever you're watching. Pin the comment. Hope everybody's doing well this evening. Monday, 8 p.m. in the UK. Drop in the chat wherever you're messaging me from. Move this over here so I can see it. Set my screen up so we can see everything. Welcome. Hello, bro. We are back. Yeah, Yash, we are back. What do I do? I am a cybersecurity instant response analyst, consultant, and I hopefully try to stop companies from getting hacked. And I also run empirical training and post some content to try and help people get into cybersecurity. They're the things that I do. If you've got any questions about those, let me know. But what I also do in these streams as well is play some games. So I'm still playing Ghost of Yotai. Let me log into that. But yeah, we do these every Monday, live on YouTube, live on Instagram. Ask me any questions. Doesn't have to be about cybersecurity, but I think that's why most of us are usually here. But you can ask me anything about getting into cybersecurity, how I got into cybersecurity, or if you've got any other question that you probably have always wanted to ask me, then you can also ask me that as well. Hey, bro. Hey, Jonathan. Yeah, I appreciate you joining the stream. What are the certifications for entry level? I like your name. Your mom loves Shirag. Nice. Your mom loves Shirag. So you want to know what the best entry-level certifications are. Before I can answer that, what job you want to get? Because entry-level could be anything. What job are you looking to get? That's the best place to start. If you can tell me what jobs you're interested in, then I can advise on what might be the best certifications to do. Otherwise, I'll just be listing off some certifications that may not help you. Oh, nice. Jonathan from Ghana. Appreciate you joining the stream. I'm over in Wales, so it's great that we're able to connect. I'm trying to log into PSN. What are the AI developments in cybersecurity and what we need to learn now to future-proof? That's a great question. And probably the best thing for me to do is I'll share my screen and I'll show you a couple of things here. Share my screen. Share screen. This is probably a good one to go through. So yeah, going back to the question then, it was, what are the AI developments in cybersecurity and what do we need to learn now to be able to future-proof? So that's a really, really good question to ask. And everybody's talking about AI these days. And on a daily basis now, I'm working to build AI agents that perform specific tasks in a security operations center. I'm being required to understand how these AI tools are being integrated into different parts of the platform, different systems, and have to understand how kind of red teamers and how hackers are trying to compromise them. So first of all, then probably the one thing I've started to learn how to build AI agents that can perform certain tasks in a security operations center. So if we imagine the kind of hierarchy of a security operations center, usually have a SOC manager. I haven't seen any AI team leads. So what I mean by this is not an actual team lead who is AI, but a team lead who manages human analysts and AI agents and also engineers. So this, maybe I should make it clearer, put human. Maybe some point the AI will take over and probably eat all the humans and take all our jobs. No, I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest. I think we're going to work side by side, as long as the Terminator doesn't come to get us. But yeah, getting back to the question, then what I'm seeing now is the kind of human analysts. They're going to be more kind of senior roles, and they're going to be using tools and agents. Well, this is something that is already happening now that help us perform certain tasks. So if we want to do threat hunting, we'll use our AI agent to speed that up, maybe to look into large volumes of data. Email analysis. So when an email comes into an email box, if it gets reported by an employee, that can go into an agent workflow, and the AI agent can analyze it for us. It can check the IP address. It can even check if anybody's clicked on it, for example, and then it can send it to the human to just validate what it's reviewed, and then the human can take actions on that. Similar for threat intelligence as well. Different agents for different tasks that are in a security operations center. Similar for engineering as well. So what can you actually learn? So one of the big things I would learn is tools like this, Tines. So this is a workflow automation tool, and you can build these kind of agent workflows like you can see here. So this is Elastic Seam, which is a popular tool used by security operations center analysts, used by companies. What companies are going to look for these days is you have the ability to build these workflows, to understand how to connect these workflows to different parts of processes in a security operations center. So as you can see in this one, it's looking up the IP address, checking if it's malicious, blocking it on the firewall. A lot of this would have normally been done by your kind of level 1, maybe analyst, or your level 2 analyst. And now those jobs aren't going to completely disappear, but a lot of them are going to get automated. And now there's a new set of skills that need to be kind of brought in. So to answer the question then, the first thing is understanding how cybersecurity is changing, this is one part of it. Then understand how to build the automations within the security operations center. This can really help you stay ahead. And then probably the last thing is the MITRE Atlas. So what the MITRE Atlas is a framework that helps us understand how attackers are trying to compromise these AI tools. So when a company brings in an AI tool, or they want to implement AI agents, let's say they want to create an AI chatbot, for example, that interfaces with customers, they're going to want to make sure that that's tested correctly, because ultimately that's all these AI tools are just new tools that are being added to the network. And these new tools are avenues for attackers to compromise. So what this shows us is the steps that an attacker will take when they're trying to compromise these LLM and AI-based tools. And as cybersecurity professionals now, we need to understand how not only to implement these tools, but also to actually make sure that they're implemented securely as well. So we can kind of be like a consultant, an AI consultant that can, anytime certain part of the business says, oh, we need this new AI tool, well, we as cybersecurity professionals need to understand how to secure it. So they're the three things that I would say. Understand how cybersecurity is changing because of AI. Understand how to integrate it into your workflows and build certain workflow automations, and also understand how attackers are trying to compromise these tools as well. Do your kind of threat modeling, your threat assessments of these AI tools. To be honest, the actual process of what you're doing doesn't really change that much. You're still kind of going to be expected to evaluate the tool, understand how attackers can compromise it, try and secure it. That's very similar to a lot of other applications. These AI tools, nothing different, I would say. Obviously, they have a lot of functionality where they can kind of integrate with so many different parts of the business, can access a lot of sensitive information. So we probably do need to maybe have a heightened awareness around them and not just let companies implement them, because they can lead to security breaches. So let me know if that helps. I'm preparing for a cybersecurity supply chain analyst interview. What should I expect? Cybersecurity supply chain analyst interview. Is that a specific job? Can't say I've ever heard of a supply chain analyst, cybersecurity supply chain analyst. Let's have a Google. Cybersecurity supply chain analyst jobs. Cybersecurity supply chain risk, supply chain. I guess you're obviously not being a manager, but this is trying to understand what you're actually going to be doing, what you'll do. Risk assessments of suppliers, cybersecurity threats. Congrats on the interview, by the way. So yeah, you're kind of going to be like a consultant, but for third-party vendors. So it's going to be, you want to understand the risk that these third-party vendors can have on the company that you're working for. They're going to want to make sure that these suppliers have their own level of security there, because ultimately what you're trying to do here is make sure that the company that you work for has a solid security foundation, has doing some really good security best practices. And while that can be all well and good, if you then go and take on a third-party supplier and their security is absolutely terrible, you can ultimately get compromised through them. So what you're trying to do then is basically understand the threats that could impact a third-party supplier. So you're going to be doing threat modeling on that third-party supplier, kind of do a threat assessment on them, try and understand how they could impact your company. You want to understand what connections there will be, like how are they going to integrate with your systems? Is there going to be certain API keys? Are you going to have shared software? What is the threat, like attack surface from that third-party supplier into your company? And it sounds like they're probably going to involve a lot of compliance as well. I don't do much kind of compliance-based like audits and things like that, but I would definitely focus on the kind of risk aspect of it, which is, yeah, it's all well and good if your company has good security, but if the third party doesn't, then you could ultimately still get compromised. What games am I on about? So normally I play Ghost of Yotai, which is a PS5 game. So let me see if I can load it up. Can't log in. Why not? In. I know nothing about cybersecurity. Let me pin this. Well, Instagram, you're giving all the questions today. I don't know where YouTube is. I know nothing about cybersecurity. I want to get into the field. Where do I start? Also, what would be the salary for a beginner junior in cybersecurity? So think about what job you want to do. I would say as a minimum, you're going to want to get a foundation in computer networking and cybersecurity. So just go and do your CompTIA Security Plus and Network Plus as a minimum. Then once you do that, think about what jobs you want to do. Because if you try to learn everything, you're just going to get overwhelmed and you're just going to you're probably going to give up because there's going to be so much information out there. Think about what job you want to do. Have a look at the job descriptions, start to understand how you can start learning a lot of the skills related to the job itself, and start focusing on certifications and learning related to the job. And the way that you're going to do that to get experience is through home projects. So make sure the home projects relate to the job that you're going for, because ultimately that's gonna really put you in a good place then to say that you've got that experience that they're asking for. So yeah, let me know if that makes sense. How difficult is it to switch from SOC analyst to some red team roles? I wouldn't say it's that difficult at all. There's probably a different set of skills, but you're already in the industry. If you're already working as a SOC analyst, do you work with red teamers? You've got any penetration testers that work in the company? Or are they all contractors? I would say that it's probably a little bit easier once you've got that experience. I would say it's harder to go into a red team role as a beginner. Sometimes it's easier to go into the blue team. There's often more positions available, and then switching over. But in terms of how difficult it is, you're probably going to be the person to answer that. Like, how comfortable do you feel with your kind of red team style like processes, roles? Do you feel comfortable with application security? Are you somebody that always wants to kind of like tinker and always try and break things and always try and figure out how to actually hack into something? Like, do you do things like hack the box? Like, how comfortable do you feel with things like that? I would say that it's definitely possible, because once you're in cybersecurity, I would say it's always much easier to switch into other roles. And if you've got experience already, then just start learning the skills and doing home projects. Be really passionate about hacking, go to hacking conferences, and start building the skills. But in terms of difficulty, I know people that have done it. So it's definitely possible. So yeah, have you got an AI that can automate pen testing? I personally haven't. I am pure gold, but I know there's ones out there. There was one in the news the other day. Let's see if I can find it. AI to automate pen testing. But to be honest, I know people are just going to want these AI tools that'll do pen testing, but I don't think it's ever going to be as good as like somebody who's really good at pen testing and ethical hacking. I feel like a lot of these AI tools are going to automate a lot of the monotonous and boring parts of any job. But I think we'll always need humans to kind of get involved. And ultimately, well, I can't say it'll never happen, but these AI tools are usually just based on what we know already. It'd be interesting if they come up with like new ways of hacking. But ultimately, they're kind of just doing what we already do, but maybe just like maybe a kind of faster rate. But I personally don't have one. There's probably some LLM tools out there that have been created. Yeah, I can't find the one. There was one where there's probably many out there. There's AI tools for pen testing, but the same thing's going to happen. That if you don't know how to go through the pen testing methodology, you don't understand the process behind it, you're not going to be able to use that tool, because you're just going to type in, "Oh, pen test this for me," and it's not going to work. Like, you still need to know the reconnaissance side of it. You still probably need to know which tools to use and when. You still need to try to figure out exactly how to use the tool, because if it's the same with like things like ChatGPT, like it doesn't make you an expert. It's like actually quite bad at some of the results that it produces. You have to kind of be a bit of an expert yourself, and then you can use it efficiently. But if you're just using the AI tools just to try and do it all for you, I don't really see that working very well, personally. Oh, it's working now. Turn it down a bit. This one. Plug it in. I could be wrong though. Maybe AI will just take over everything. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but you never know. I could be wrong. Hello, I know nothing about cybersecurity. If I want to get into the field, where do I start? I think I answered that one.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, sorry, I know the third alphabet. I know you posted it again, but yeah, start with the CompTIA Network Plus, Security Plus, and then go into think about what jobs you want to do, and then focus on the home projects related to that job. Bro, I'm thinking about doing bug hunting and starting to build web hacking tools and AI chat system to automate attacks, so it takes less time to find bugs or vulnerabilities. Is that a good thing? Yeah, Yash, if you can make something like that, that would be really cool. If you have the ability to build that out, yeah, that would be cool. Like if you have a look at Google Gemini CLI, you can already install that onto Kali Linux, and it also already does kind of like something quite like similar that you can kind of prompt it and ask it to do Nmap scans for you. But yeah, if you can kind of build your own tool, then yeah, that's all well and good. If it can find vulnerabilities that well, like I don't know if there's any data out there about these AI pen testing tools like Finding 0 Days. I don't know, maybe I've missed it, but I think that would be something new and cool. But yeah, it sounds like a good tool. If you can create that, then yeah, give it a go. Hi, Siva from YouTube. If you've got any questions for me, let me know. We're getting some good ones off Instagram today. Being Rishi, I'm building a commercial AI-powered compliance engine SaaS tool. Well, there's a lot of buzzwords in there, and the commercial AI-powered compliance SaaS tool. I need some insights, tips. What do you think about the current issues with existing systems? So what's the compliance engine actually doing? Like commercial AI, you kind of just said like a lot of words, but I'm not really sure what the tool actually does. Like, does it scan the environment to make sure that the Windows Active Directory environment is compliant, or does it make sure that there's no what's it called? That there's no what's the name of it? Yeah, is it checking to see if there's any emails being sent to incorrect email addresses, or if there's what kind of compliance? What do you mean by the compliance engine? Is coding the best way to get into cybersecurity? I can't code, so I wouldn't say it's the best way to get in. I say coding and learning how to code is just another skill set to have. It's not something that you have to have. Like I can't code, but to be honest, these days with things like
your friends from the south would like to cover your
ChatGPT,
next round
Claude,
of sake.
like I feel like coding is going to become a little bit obsolete.
Then I'll take
The
something
thing is that,
refined.
but what is important these days is understanding like how to read code. So, like personally for me, I can read code enough to kind of understand if it's malicious or not. But in terms of writing it, that's not something I've been able to do. But these days now, I can use tools like ChatGPT to write scripts for me. But you do obviously have to be very careful, because you want to make sure that what it's writing is not malicious. So there's always two sides to it. So coding is another skill, but I don't think it's something that you have to know. So next, any tips for conferences, Andre, to go to? So I've been to Black Hat. I actually didn't think it was that good. To be honest, it was very like corporate. But some of the talks were okay, but it was quite expensive. I think the one that people love, and I haven't had a chance to go, is DEF CON. which is like a big hacker
tainting
conference.
something so delicious.
There's B-Sides. I think that's more like a smaller conference. It might be bigger now, to be
Please
honest.
enjoy.
But yeah, there's a few out there. It depends where you're located. How do you pick the right niche? Have a think about what you enjoy. First of all, have a think about what jobs are actually in demand. You're kind of cybersecurity analyst, instant response analyst, maybe you're DevSecOps if you want to go into the kind of the more engineering realm. Do you want to be an AI security engineer? Do you want to do forensics? There's a lot of job areas out there. All depends on kind of what you want to do, really. What do you think you're going to enjoy? Yash, thank you. No, you're welcome, mate. Back to the Future. Favorite 80s movie? That's a good question. 80s movies. To be honest, I don't actually watch that many films. I do like Indiana Jones. There are probably some really good ones. I didn't think they were in the 80s, but yeah, it looks like they are. They're probably some of my favorite films. Indiana Jones. Going back further, I don't know if anybody's watched the original Italian Job. That's probably my favorite film of all time. That was 1969, so it doesn't quite answer your question, but that's my favorite film of all time. How long does it take to be ready for any profile in cybersecurity? I'm currently working in application support and preparing to switch, so where are my options? How long does it take to be ready for? So I've got my own apprenticeship, and in my apprenticeship, it's called SOC Plus. On average, the people that we've helped have landed a job between 4 and 6 months from starting that. It depends how much time you're looking to kind of put towards it. If you did want to talk through that apprenticeship, or if you want to chat through with me, go to the link on the Instagram profile. Or anybody else, if you're watching on YouTube, then it'll be in the description. Go to the link there, click on it. We can jump on a call. These calls are just to assess if it's something that is something that you definitely want to do, if we can actually work together, and we can kind of build a plan for you. But like I said, between 4 and 6 months is what the average students have done in my apprenticeship and in our training apprenticeship.
What else?
It depends how much time you've got to allocate to it, but that's something that we can help with as well. AI and security as well, so we won't take our jobs, it'll just make things a bit easier. Yeah, I agree with that, Rishi. I'm seeing like things are being automated a lot, but I don't think that it's going to completely take every job. But obviously a lot of jobs are going to change. Good training programs for cybersecurity. It depends what you want to do. Like, cybersecurity is such a broad term. When you say you want to do cybersecurity, you need to be a bit more specific. You've got a YouTube channel. Yeah, I do. I'm Andrew Cyber Jones on YouTube. I can post a link in. I can show it here actually on YouTube. If you are looking for it, it's this one here. At Andrew Cyber Jones. I'll post it in here. Yeah, I post a lot of project videos on here, ways to get into cybersecurity. Yeah, but yeah, I've just posted it in the chat if you want to have a look.
Feel better? Yes, I can move again.
It's a scan the environment basically, and it's AI powered as if the user needs ISO to assess all the scan results and make an audit report on it. Yeah, sounds pretty good. I don't know much about compliance. I don't work in GRC. I don't really deal too much with the kind of compliance side of it, so I understand that there's just like a set of recommendations and things you have to follow, and then you want to make sure that the company complies with that. It probably would make sense for AI to be integrated into that, because it does sound like there's a lot of manual work to it. So yeah, go for it. If you're going to build a tool for that, then I'm sure it would be good. You might have worked on compliance audit. What issues have you faced so far? No, I've never worked on compliance audit. That's a different part of cybersecurity that I work in. I work on the more kind of blue team defensive side, and usually the kind of compliance teams are usually, they're not as, I wouldn't say always, but they're not always doing as technical work. Like you're kind of like the blue team and stuff that I'm doing. Usually they're different teams. Maybe some companies they can be the same. And I'm not hating on compliance people. Maybe there are people out there who are really technical. But from my experience, they're usually very separate departments. From what I found out.
We're here.
Yeah, what's your favorite 80s movie then? You asked me, and I actually gave you a 70s one. What was yours? We're quiet on the YouTube front tonight. Go. One person joins and then leaves. Instagram, you had some good questions. I'm a blue teamer defensive analyst as well, but now we're just doing it as my entrepreneurial side. Ah, okay, nice. You should join our free community. We're always looking for other cybersecurity professionals to jump in there. How long have you been in a blue teamer defensive analyst? And I guess, yeah, what makes you want to go into the kind of more compliance audit side? You kind of see a gap in the market for it, or as your company said, there's something that they would really like? Interested to know where the ideas come from. Because, yeah, it sounds like a good idea. Like, I don't see why AI couldn't help in that area, because compliance is always a lot of data to go through. So
let's check the other building.
It could probably help. But yeah, you asked me what issues have you faced then when it comes to kind of compliance audits? What would you say? What platform is the free community on? It's on School, so it's School with a K. I can share my screen and show it on you. School.com, and then it's slash. It's not this one. Yes, this one. So school.com/cybersec. So this is our free community. I'll post it in there. Post it in here, so you can see it. And once you join, we've got this classroom area as well. We've got a lot of projects in here. We'll look into more tools and any cybersecurity tools. Point you to different certifications. I know we've had quite a few questions about certifications, so this could be a good place to get in touch with me as well. You can message me, make some posts in here as well. I try to respond to these when I can. But yeah, this is the platform, school.com with a K/cybersec. I posted it in there. Anybody wants to see it. 4 years plus 2 in red team. Oh, nice, Rishi. You've got some really good experience there. There'll be many people who would want to learn from you. So I've been in cybersecurity for 10 years now, and I went from kind of like a junior SOC analyst to senior cybersecurity analyst, and now I work more in like incident response for a blue team analyst. It's cool that you've got into red teaming. What platform are you answering questions from? Well, I'm on Instagram Live, and I'm also on stream on YouTube as well. But the main ones that I'm answering are from Instagram Live, Instagram, yeah.
Another symbol. Check the cipher.
That's nice. I could learn from you. Mean? Yeah, I'm sure we could learn from each other, to be honest. Like, you've got really good experience in red teaming. Join that community. It's probably the best place to get in touch with me, and we can kind of chat anytime.
Find something.
I always like to speak to people in the industry. And our community members are always looking to speak to more people as well. Like I said, we've got our own apprenticeship. So if you ever wanted to jump in there and check it out, because it'd be good to know from people in the industry what they think of it. Like I said, it's been getting people results. Worked with over 12 people last year who landed jobs without experience. Some mechanical engineers. John.bk, I DM'd you. Okay, let's have a look. What did you DM me? Did you? I can't see it. Have you DM'd me? Oh, there, I can see. Hey, may I get more info about the mentorship? Yeah, I will send you. The best thing is we can jump on a call. I'll send you a link now. Cybersecurity here. Default messages. What's your background at the moment, by the way? I've just sent you a link. Thanks for the message. And that link will, it's kind of a video on there, explain more about it, and then we could jump on a call as well. What would be a good computer to get? Depends what you want to do. I've always kind of leaned into Macs recently, but sometimes they can be a bit annoying with virtual machines sometimes, especially the new M1 Macs. But I prefer working with Macs and Linux these days rather than Windows. I don't actually do much with as much Windows stuff these days.
A fox statue with 9 tails.
Yeah, depends on what you want to use it for, really.
That seems right.
The main thing is that you just want, if you want a good amount of RAM, so that you can do virtual machines, set up your own labs at home. Yeah, it depends what you want to use it for, really.
No traps triggered. That's a good sign.
Yeah, school.com/cybersec. That will take you to this page here. See, school.com/cybersec. I'll post it in there again so you can see it. But not an M1. If I play Hack the Box and see if I can pursue this field. Yeah, to be like the newer Macs they're good. Like they don't, the Intel Macs are a lot older now, so they're probably not as efficient. But if you're going to do Hack the Box, you just want something good that you can run virtual machines on. So sometimes Macs can be a little expensive. The more RAM that you try to put in them. Sorry, not just the M1 Mac. I mean, any Apple Silicon chip. Sometimes there can be issues with VMs, but they've got a lot better. Like there's a lot more support for them now. Like things like Kali Linux and stuff like that. I've developed the images for them, so it's probably won't be too much of an issue. Like I said, I use them myself. I don't do much Hack the Box and kind of red teaming stuff, so maybe I might not always be the best to ask. But I think the most thing you want is RAM. Yeah, no wonder, Rishi. Appreciate you joining that community. Like I said, it'd be good to keep in touch. It's nice to always keep in touch with people who work in cybersecurity.
Try them again. Well done. Stay close and follow my lead. Oh, This
So
was
yeah, we
meant
do
our feet
these
hiding in plain
live
sight.
streams every week. I tried to add anyway. So it's been so last week I missed it because I was away somewhere. But yeah, try to do them every week, 8 p.m. UK. Jump
They're keeping
on, have a
prisoners.
chat,
Hopefully the
play some
doll stays
games,
among them.
and yeah, talk all things cybersecurity
Stay
or
back until it's
all
clear.
things 80s films. If you want to ask me the 80s films questions.
Something found her!
Have that boy.
Help us, please!
How's the job market in the UK? Yeah, well,
Are you the die
every time I
master?
look at the job websites, there's
Yeah.
always jobs that are available. I'd say that maybe it's not as good as it was in like 2022, but I don't know. There seems to be more positions coming up, and like I said, I help people at the start of all through last year. We managed to help land people jobs without experience. Another person I've been working with has actually got a interview at CrowdStrike, which is pretty cool. I think they've just done the second stage interview, which is nice. So yeah, there's definitely jobs there. What I'm seeing is more difficult is what you need to learn, what you need to know. Like it's not as easy to get certifications and a degree, much how it was when I started, and maybe even like 5-6 years ago. Companies want to know now that when they're putting in money in to hire you, that you're actually going to be able to do the job. And that's why the students that we work with, we find that the home projects is the number one thing. And not just home projects, it's they're using the tools the companies are using. So the company can pretty much know, okay, this person has used all these tools. We can bring them in. Maybe we have to give them a minimum amount of training, and they can actually go ahead and do the job. But that's the thing that we're seeing these days.
We're
But,
looking for a shinobi wearing a kitsune
third alphabet.
mask.
Whereabouts are you located?
Demon
Just out
threatened
of
to burn my
interest?
workshop if I didn't turn away my customers. I cooperated until he started taking prisoners.
That's when he threw you in here.
There are others deeper in. Please, help them.
The kitsune might still be here. I'll keep going. Take them back to the house.
Be careful, Atsu.
Any other questions for me though, or are a lot of you just happy to watch me game?
Too far to jump.
How do we get across there?
Clever.
Yeah. Anyone play this game? Oh, no, doesn't look good. Thanks, I have no questions. Yeah, no problem. You don't have to actually have questions. You can just be here chilling, listening to me talk rubbish.
they try to escape? Or were they flown down here?
Yeah, like I said, we do these every Monday, 8 p.m. UK. Let people just come and ask me anything they want, really. I think they already, What's the technologies that you currently work on, and what's the difference in the landscape in the last 2 years? Yeah, that's a good question, Rishi. What technologies you currently work on? Where's that gone? The camera. Technology. So I can't really share loads about it because it's got to be careful what you speak about. But like technologies mostly that I'm using, like the Seam, Elastic, Splunk, Microsoft Sentinel, endpoint agents, like your CrowdStrike, your Sentinel-1, AWS, Microsoft Azure, kind of cloud-based stuff, kind of like GitHub, GitLab for your kind of CI/CD pipelines. What else is there? Containers, so Dockers, Kubernetes, understanding how to analyze alerts in those systems, for example, is something that I look into, building detection rules, threat intelligence, threat hunting, threat intelligence platforms like MISP is a big one, integrating that into Seam so that you've got intelligence that's coming in. I don't personally do that myself, but I do work with threat intelligence teams that do that. I'm trying to think what else. They're the major ones, the kind of cloud-based stuff. Wiz is a really good one, so for your cloud analysis and cloud detections. What's the difference in landscape? So the last 2 years, I think AI has been the major shift. Companies wanted to integrate AI into every part of the company, and because of that, we have to understand how to secure it and also how to kind of respond to attacks that take place using these AI tools. I think that's been a big thing, and also personally using AI myself. So I find myself building like custom GPTs to perform certain tasks, building AI workflows. So I got projects on my YouTube channel that talk through building AI agents for different processes in a security operations center. So like you can find it. So like I think there's one here, and a lot I'm using the templates from Tines that you can just input and configure them that way. So Tines is like workflow automation tools like Tines are probably other tools that I've been trying to get experience with. N8N is a big one. I haven't personally used that. Talk I've used a little bit. Don't know where that one. I've got like a phishing email analyzer. There's a few different projects that I've created in here, but they're probably some of the major tools that I've used. What about yourself? Does having a master's degree help land a job there, or is skills enough? I think master's degrees, they used to be able to. I think they still can now. Like if you're working towards one, I see that master's degrees and certifications now are kind of like the same level. You're not really getting job skills from a master's degree or undergraduate degree, which is probably why people are finding it difficult to land a job. But I would say that if you're going to do a master's degree, you're probably still going to want to do a couple of certifications and home projects as well. So because I was speaking to a lot of master's students, and we actually work with a lot of them in our apprenticeship, and they even say themselves that they're finding difficulties landing a job. And because of that, we tend to say that it's because you need job skills. So master's degree, like it's just another thing that can help, but is it something that you definitely need? I personally don't think so. I think you can go down the certification route instead. But I know some companies do ask for it, but I'm seeing it less and less these days that companies really want a degree. But they still have it on their job description, but it doesn't mean like companies will ask for everything on their job description. It doesn't mean that they're going to get it. And because of that, yeah, like I don't necessarily think that it's the most important thing. But if you are doing a master's, if you've got one, it's still a good thing to have. But I don't think these days it's able to get you a job just on its own. Talking too much cybersecurity, anyway. Well, we're coming to the end of the stream now. I really appreciate everybody that's joined on Instagram, on YouTube. We've had some, the camera keep going off. On YouTube, we've had some really good questions tonight. I've enjoyed this. Let me know if you like this format. Like I said, every Monday, 8 p.m. UK, I try to do these. If there's anything else you want to run through, any other format you want to try, then just let me know. I'm always open to ideas. The best place to always get in touch with me and the rest of the team is on School. So that's School with a K, SKOOL.com/cybersec. And you can come into that community, free community. We've got projects in there. Other cybersecurity professionals, other beginners looking to do the same thing as you to get into cybersecurity. So, yeah, really appreciate everybody joining. Thank you again. I'm going to come to the end of the stream now, and I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.